And when everything is upside down, when you're yelling but you make no sound, life is gonna spin you round. Whoa, and get a little bit stranger. When everything is upside down, a tremor in the underground, the nights are gonna take this town. Whoa, and get a little bit stranger, stranger.
Push the kinetic
When everything is upside down, when you're yelling but you make no sound, life is gonna spin you round. Whoa, get a little bit stranger. When everything is upside down, a tremor in the underground, the nights are gonna take this down. Whoa, get a little bit stranger, stranger. Lost in the spaces behind, hold out a hand in your mind. Don't have to face it alone. Lost in the spaces behind, hold out a hand in your mind. Don't have to face it alone.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Vid here for this fine Tuesday in which we're going to have 3 games of our diamond-capped GRLCS. Joining me here is fellow GetRec staff member Oath. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm ready to be back on cast.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. It's been a little bit of an off season since we didn't get to do Summer Splash live or weekly the way that we normally do our regular fall and spring, but it's fall and we're here for week 1 and ready to get into our first game, which is Gecko Slammer Armageddon versus US Army Esports. So US Army Esports on the blue side, returning from their spring. They played in spring. We've got Pork Chop in the top lane on Kled, Y Rito in the jungle on Graves, Alacrity in the mid lane playing a Tristana mid, and our bot lane Talented and It's Me That's OP on Kaisa and Zillion.
And over on the red side, as the teams walk out for 5 point, nothing too interesting happening early. We've got General Vici up in the top lane on Maokai, a Shaco name in the jungle on Xin, Taya in the mid lane on Lucian, and Ian Hogg and Hamana bot lane on Ezreal and Thresh.
Yeah, so usually week 1 is kind of scrappy, back and forth, like just wild, but I'm interested to see this one because US Army Esports and GSM are both not only returning teams to the GRLCS, but both teams are coming back with their main rosters. A Shaco name is the Shiny Bidoof, but renamed. Taya, I don't know who Taya is, but I would be guessing that GSM has been playing with him for a while. Of course, Ian Hong and Himana, the inseparable bot lane. And then meanwhile, US Army Esports coming back with their actual official roster. Like the Army's official roster. So I'm interested to see what kind of more coordinated team play they have as opposed to, say, our gold games that we had the last 2 days.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to watch the first week of the higher elo bracket. I am particularly interested to see that we have 2 AD carries in mid lane. I mean, Lucian, no stranger to ADC, but I haven't seen Tristana mid in quite a while, actually.
Yeah, the Tristana kind of caught me by surprise when I loaded this up. I was like, Tristana, I'm just going to have to shuffle this around. No. It's definitely going to be an interesting one because Lucian is mostly known for being able to beat up on mid laners because, Lucian is a very strong early game duelist. Meanwhile, speaking of duelists, General Vici and Pork Chop going at it, but General Vici will get a little bit of healing back and force Pork Chop off of Skarl.
Yeah, this lane early is just not very fun for Maokai, is kind of how it goes. Kled's just a really annoying champion for tanks to deal with, especially before they get Bramble.
Oh, Himana flashes forward. He will manage to find Talented, however. The stun comes up. A Shaco name will actually have to flash away. So, Flash burned on a Shaco name, as well as Flash Ignite for Himana and Flash Heal for Talented. 3 for 2 in favor of US Army Esports.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate for Himana that the edge of that flay didn't clip when he flashed forward there. But he is able to land the hook in the open, which was kind of nice, and it forced both sums out of Talented. I would expect to see Xin Zhao revisit bot lane because of that.
But a visit top lane will find Porkchop first blood here. There was nothing General Vici could do. He was pinched on both sides, so US Army Esports draws that first blood, and they will find themselves a big advantage here in the top lane. 17-10, burning the teleport on General Vici and first blood for this Kled.
Yeah, actually, Rito just kind of up there for moral support. Porkchop got that kill solo. No assist gold went over, so that doesn't bode well for the early prospects of GSM's top.
There was a hook there by Himana, but It's Me That's OP was almost under the tower, so I don't think Himana wanted to chance that, especially with no flash. The mid lane here, going surprisingly even in my mind. Alacrity on that Tristana. I would think that you'd get bullied out a little bit by Lucian, just because, you know, Lucian level 2, level 3.
You would imagine so, but it kind of depends whether or not Lucian really wants to press the advantage. It doesn't have Ignite, actually opted for Exhaust in this lane, so maybe not looking to be that aggressive early.
Yeah, and I'm interested by this Exhaust pickup because it's not like there's a full-on assassin on the side of US Army Esports. Alacrity on the Tristana, if he gets ahead, I would consider him one, but now a return gank here, and oh, General Vici actually follows Porkchop over the wall with the Direst Flash, but now he's going to have to back off as Alacrity finds himself a teleport into the top lane to keep his Kled from dying.
Yeah, that was a really well-timed twisted advance from General Vici, but unfortunately a Shaco name with no flash cannot follow over. Otherwise, that probably would have actually just been a kill on Porkchop. You see he's not scared at all, he still has Scarl.
Yeah, now Porkchop remounts, gets knocked back off, and General Vici going to chase Twisted Advance. This one will find the kill, however, Alacrity will pick up his own kill, and that teleport was not for nothing here, as Alacrity hits level 6 in this top lane, and Rito picks up a free Drake in the bot lane.
Yeah, no vision. I don't know if GSM actually knew that Alacrity had stayed up there. That's why Porkchop had played so aggressive. I think Porkchop didn't quite expect to take that much damage in return after he hopped back on Scarl, but it ends up being a trade. While they do take the Drake over in the bot lane, so they're winning on a lot of sides of the map, actually.
Yeah, about a 300 gold lead, but that 300 gold lead is in the top lane. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Ian Hong gets stunned up, misplays, and It's Me That's OP will find him and the kill with the double bomb.
That was really confident play from me. It's Me That's OP. Doesn't use flash, doesn't use ignite, just gets both bombs down onto Ian Hong, knowing that Talented has a full spell rotation to follow up.
And now Ian Hong forced to teleport back into the lane, catch that wave under turret. He will get the 4 CS that were there, so he is still at a CS advantage. However, the kill going over to that Zillion, it's much better than, say, you know, a different support, a more supportive Braum or Nautilus or something. So he'll have to watch out for these bombs.
Yeah, Zillion's a pet peeve of mine. If it was played more often, I would ban it more often. I just can't stand playing into that champion. As you see, flash forward into mid lane.
Yeah, he used that flash and forces Taya's own flash, and that was good. You mentioned that he was confidently, almost greeting in the bot lane by saving his flash ignite, but now it gets put to good use here, forcing the mid lane flash advantage.
Yeah, and now I'm starting to understand the exhaust pickup in mid lane. When you've got Tristana on kill advantage, BF sword up, jumping on you like that with Zillion running towards you, it can be useful to have. I expect to see that dropped on Tristana jumping in the mid game quite often, because that summoner spell's up fairly consistently.
Yeah, very short cooldown compared to something like a teleport as Alacrity has, or even like an Ignite. It's a lower cooldown than that as well. So Taya may be able to bait in Alacrity in the mid game, as you said, and if he can turn a team fight by deleting Tristana or making her useless through the exhaust, this could be a very good thing for GSM. But first, they need to find themselves advantages here. They are currently about 800 gold down. The advantage is continuing to grow for US Army Esports here in this early game. Riff?
And now we're at the point where General Vici doesn't care a whole lot about Kled's damage. Kled on triple longsword into the Ninja Tabby. Of course, the Bramble not quite up yet, but General Vici has kind of stabilized this lane. Still has a slight CF's deficit, but it shouldn't be too big of a deal.
Yeah, 48 to 64. General Vici behind by about 16. He will pick up a couple of these under the turret. Meanwhile, Porkchop will go back. He does still have that teleport. Oh, nope, he will not go back. He'll force a little bit of General Vici's health out. Meanwhile, Wyvrito will pick up that Herald solo. Same as that Dragon earlier, so he's having a good time so far in this objective game.
And as we've established in a hotly contested debate in general chat, the only time Herald is useful is if your jungler can solo it and you're not giving up any pressure anywhere.
And
So that meets that criteria. Good for them. We'll see if that. It's usually best, I believe, to use Herald mid or top to break plates open, but they don't really have any push in any of the lanes so far. All towers still on 5 plates.
yep, Porkchop and General Vici sparring a little bit, but that will be the Scarl remount by Porkchop. Meanwhile, the True Shot Barrage will go wide in the bot lane. 35 seconds here on this Cloud Drake, which means this will either be a Mountain or an Ocean Soul. And it looks like Wyvrito is going to hang around while a Shaco name goes back and picks up his Warrior Enchantment.
Yeah, good timing for a back here. He will have enough time to get back out to that dragon. Both TPs are up. Both top laners have not reset. So that could end up being a little bit dicey.
Yeah, if these top laners who both have teleport, if they elect to join the fight around this bot lane and the dragon, they may walk into more than they bargained for. They do have good levels, level 9 on Porkchop, level 8 on General Vici, but it looks like US Army Esports may just have the advantage here. Ian Hong and Himana reset, and it looks like they will be losing out on the second Drake here. Put US Army Esports at both of the non-Soul Drakes. It will be an Ocean Rift, and now I think it's just gotten more important that GSM contests these.
Yeah, that's that got really kind of anticlimactic, but it was really well played and clean from US Army Esports. They dropped the Herald mid lane, they backed their bot lane early so that they have items when they walk at the base, and I don't know if this was intentional or not. It probably is, knowing Kai'Sa's build variety, but that's double pickaxe.
Oh, yeah. Well, now a Shaco name is here, and he will force Talented's Flash. It's me that's OP, gets knocked up, but triple teleports coming into the bot lane. Alacrity and Porkchop are both here. Wyvrito will make it a 5v4. Taya walking down from the mid lane, but it will not be enough because a Shaco name is already dead. Himana as well. Talented getting low, as well as It's Me That's OP, but it will mean that US Army Esports walks away deathless in this 5v4.
Yeah, really well done on that side of things. The teleports both come down, but Kled's back a little bit stronger than General Vici itemizing for the 1v1 and survivability.
And look at that. Taya comes in too little, too late. He will not be able to get any kind of advantage in the mid lane, even though he was slow on the draw. Ian Hong will find himself a turret plate, and it does mean that US Army Esports will be sitting at about a 1.7k gold lead here at about 13 minutes.
So building into the tier now for Talented, that is a little bit interesting because obviously if you have money for a pickaxe, you have money for tier. Yes, just knowing that there was likely to be a fight, prioritizing the extra AD. Ian Hong might be in a bit of trouble here. The Lantern goes to the other side.
He will flash. It's Me That's OP has his ultimate available. He will use that Chrono Shift. Now, why Rito? In a little bit of trouble, but Ian Hong doesn't have the True Shot Barrage, so that means that both of those laners will walk away. Ian Hong out of mana since his back was interrupted, but he has the Muramana. Meanwhile, Talented still in that double pickaxe. Now, Porkchop may be in trouble because the Shaco Name has used that Crescent Guard. General Vici going to keep Porkchop in place. Shaco Name will not have the flash to follow, but will Porkchop go down? Does he get hit by the Maokai sapling? Pop, and the kill for General Vici.
Now that is a satisfying fadeaway. Both taps of damage doing just enough to kill Porkchop there. Really good use of the Blast Cone by General Vici and the follow over the wall. Really nice play, actually.
Yeah, I was very impressed by how he kept comboing him back into the wall with that Bramble Smash, and eventually Porkchop forced the flash, and he didn't even get away. The sapling was just so good, getting the buff on it by going into the bush, and then just kind of everything went well there for GSM. We've got X-Craze in the chat saying the build now for Kai'Sa is double pickaxe into tier, gives you Q evolve earlier. Okay.
That makes sense, actually. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I was right, that was intentional. I had a game recently where my top laner built double Bramble Vest on one of my other teams, and that was not intentional. But you know, diminishing returns on that versus the double pickaxe. So
yeah. Okay, so now we've got a fight. X-Craze says that it's double pickaxe into tier. Ian Hong or Rito Torchic says it's not the build. That's an old build. I do know that it's an old build, but I don't know if that's if it's outdated. So I know I personally like to go pickaxe tier. Finish the Muramana before I get my second pickaxe, because you do need a little bit of the scaling from your you need a little bit of the mana scaling from your Muramana before you actually can evolve it.
yeah, these are reasons why I don't play ADC, because I could have double pickaxe or pickaxe in tier and I still don't feel like I do damage. So
That's why, as Chad said, that's why you just don't play Kai'Sa. You play Caitlyn or Ashe instead.
yeah, I have to assume in this series both had to have been banned out, because there's no way you are selecting Kai'Sa and Ezreal as your ADCs if either of those champions are left up on this patch. It's just the Caitlyn Ashe meta is too hard to ignore. Oh, that's a lot of damage.
There's our reason for picking exhaust there, but Taya will not have been able to use it. Now a Shaco Name has to use the Dark Passage back to Himana to avoid getting popped here by Alacrity. And now he's back in. Looks like the team fight will be starting. Why Rito has to flash away. A Shaco Name blocking so much damage with that Crescent Guard, as Taya manages to force Y Rito back. The Dragon is on the table. US Army Esports camping around it as Y Rito will try and get some of that health back. It looks like GSM might have to give up a third Drake. They don't have their top laner, and their jungler is low.
Yeah, especially after getting hit by another one of those stray bombs. Porkchop is now here, and it looks like they're just going to secure Soul Point for themselves. I don't think GSM can really do anything, and yeah, they are electing to give it up. They might attempt a steal with Ezreal, but I don't think he'll get close enough.
Yeah, he's in a little bit of trouble, but the Arcane Shift over the wall will keep him out of harm's way. Porkchop gonna burn the charge. Getting a little overzealous there, but US Army Esports gonna walk away with murder. They got 3 uncontested Drakes here off of GSM.
Yeah, and Dragon's no longer worth gold, so we don't see that advantage so much in the gold lead. It's still fairly close, but you cannot underestimate the pressure that gets put on GSM with a 22-minute soul for your opponent.
Yeah, the gold lead has shrunk, as you stated. It was about 1.7k, now it's just under 1,000 difference. But yeah, all of the hidden stats here in these Dragons, that's going to get even worse if US Army Esports manages to get their hands on Soul. So we're going to definitely see a team fight around 22 minutes when that comes up. And potentially, US Army Esports could do the fancy thing and kind of do the Soul Dragon for Baron trade. Oh, the exhaust comes out, but to really no effect here in the mid lane. Meanwhile, Double Flay, Talented is going to be exhausted already, gets hit by that True Shot Barrage, and now Porkchop may be in trouble. He's on the wrong side of this wall. He'll be taken down by Taya. Ian Hong, though, he gets picked off, and looks like Himano will be going down for the double kill here. The bot lane of GSM. They walked into this fight, but they got more than they bargained for. General Vici coming in to try and clean something up. He's going to flash forward, find Talented. Heal used by the ADC of US Army Esports, but it won't save him. General Vici gets something back, but it's really not enough.
Yeah, Taya finally picks up a kill for himself, but I was just about to mention before that fight broke out that the only kill gold on GSM was the 2 kills, now 3 kills up on General Vici, which is really not what you want in this sort of scenario. Credit to Ian Hong and Taya for having the CS differential that led to that gold lead being close. Now they have taken it by about 100 gold, so we're literally neck and neck right now.
Yeah, it's neck and neck, except for, of course, that Dragon Gold. GSM did manage to get first turret in the mid lane there, which prompted the jump onto Alacrity by Taya. Meanwhile, the bot lane of GSM will be swapping lanes. Interesting, considering that they hadn't taken they hadn't taken the turret in the bot lane, and there's not really a Herald to swap for. But I guess with 2.5 minutes left on the Dragon, they could afford to do it.
Yeah, this Herald, not here.
Yeah, like Herald doesn't even spawn here. It's Baron,
Nope,
so...
it's Baron spawning here. But as you said, there's no neutral objective in bot lane, so it's probably fine. Just a little bit of an interesting call.
It will mean that Alacrity does go bot lane to match General Vici, and now the Nature's Grasp coming out is going to mean that a Shaco name dives under the turret. He is so low already. The teleport coming in from Porkchop, and General Vici now going to be in the middle of 3. He doesn't have a jungler to help him. He's just going to start walking away. He's got a lot of armor, but it's not going to be enough as Wairito takes the kill.
I find that dive really interesting. Even if Wairito isn't there, I think Alacrity just pops the flash and the stopwatch of a Shaco name anyway. All that happened before Wairito got to that fight, and General Vici doesn't have enough damage to clean up half-health Tristan under tower. Never.
Yeah, it's... I don't know, it's kind of a question mark. I mean, the lane swap was one thing, just perfectly reasonable, doesn't really do anything good or bad. But that dive there, handing over a ton of pressure as well as a kill, and Alacrity going to get that solo turret gold as well. It just means that the gold goes from even to 1.7k again to US Army Esports.
Yeah, and that 40 seconds-ish before we have this dragon spawning, this will be an interesting fight. I mean, two crit items up on Lucian. The Iceborne Muramana finished for Ian Hong. GSM is not really in a weak position, but they have been losing these skirmishes for the most part, and they seem to be having trouble taking good fights against the heavy early power that US Army Esports has built for themselves here.
Yeah, so the reset will come in time for 4 members of GSM. Ian Hong may have to teleport in. He will. He uses it on that mid lane turret. The Dragon is here. Vision in the pit for US Army Esports, but it's me that's OP. Has to run away. The culling is used by Taya to try and zone him off. Ian Hong hitting pot shots over the wall, gets that support very low. GSM has the priority on the Dragon. They do have the Herald dropped in the top lane. That's huge for them. And it means that they may be able to stall this and then wait for US Army Esports to get desperate.
That's probably the best target to have early poke on in this type of fight, because you want Zillion to either be forced to chrono shift himself, and they just do. They just have to give over the Dragon because of that early damage and the positioning that GSM had.
Yeah, that's an easy concession there for US Army Esports, but now they are going to be engaged on Pork Chop already very low. General Vici's here in the middle of the team. He's got so much armor, it's very hard to get him down. The Chrono Shift is going to be used on the Pork Chop. He is going to resurrect as Skarl comes back. The shutdown coming through by Taya. Meanwhile, another kill coming through onto Talented. Pork Chop on the run. He is going to have to use the charge. Last-ditch effort to get on top of Ian Hong. Pork Chop jumps away. We do see Alacrity on the flank. He has Flash, but he doesn't have Ultimate, and that's going to mean that he is just going to walk away. A 3-for-1 for GSM, and they look clean in that fight.
Yeah, that was a really easy selection of a fight for them. I mean, US Army Esports with half health bars on 2 members tried to take the inside track on mid and knock down an inner tower instead of an outer tower after the 4th dragon. It's so easy for them to just get chased onto there by the Twisted Advance and the Nature's Grasp.
Yeah, and Alacrity wasn't even able to get that inner turret, so again, gold's even. Once again, it seems like GSM, they kind of make a bad play, hand over a gold lead, and then get it all back with a good play. But now, 9-7 is the kill score. 3-2 is the turret score, this time in favor of GSM. And it finally seems like the gold is starting to get on the carries that it needs to get on. Lucian picked up a kill in that fight. Ian Hong, I believe, picked up a kill as well. And, or maybe Ian Hong picked up 2.
Yep, and we didn't really mention it early. That's my bad as analysis, but there isn't a lot of AP damage on the side of US Army Esports, which means we get the fun, super interactive 160 to 180 armor drill build, consisting of Ninja Tabby, Iceborne Gauntlets, Death Dance, all sorts of enjoyable things to play into if you have a triple ADC comp.
Yeah, and I mean, you hit it right on the head. That's 4 AD members, the Tristana as well. Not even going for that kind of hybrid AP burst build with the ultimate. It is going to mean that until the late game, when Kaisa gets her Zanya's Hourglass, Nashor's Tooth, it's going to be a lot harder for US Army Esports to win any fight that General Vici's in. And Ian Hong as well. Ian Hong on the Ezreal. Probably the worst ADC that you could possibly have for a full AD comp. And there. Yeah. That was just a lot of damage really fast, and it to me that's OP didn't even Chrono Shift. Not sure if he would have even survived if he used it, and Talented going down for the triple kill. Taya just running him down and gunning him down. It's going to mean that the Baron is free here for GSM.
Yeah, and GSM knows exactly what they're doing with this itemization. We've got 5 Ninja Tabbies up for GSM.
Yeah.
It is no contest that without the early AP Kaisa build and as you mentioned that potential hybrid build coming out from Tristana, I don't think they quite knew what they opted into here.
Yeah, I mean, neither of us really noticed it until you mentioned it just there, but it seems like US Army Esports kind of threw in draft. They played really well through this early game. They got themselves a 3 Drake advantage. And now it's all coming back to bite them in the butt because General Vici's got he's got 2 full armor items, a Bramble Vest, Ninja Tabi, 5 Ninja Tabis across the team, Ian Hong with the double armor items plus boots, and it's not looking pretty here until Talented gets himself an Asher's Tooth.
Yeah, and double Gargoyle Stoneplate makes things even more annoying because all that armor gets multiplied by how much health you have on the character.
This is the anti-lose to Shopkeeper, because I know there are a couple of LCS teams even who would fail to pick up on this.
I'm looking at you, Hanser.
Oh, now it looks like Rito may have gotten himself picked again. Definitely at least going to force himself in a disadvantageous position here with the dragon spawning in 10 seconds. GSM could find themselves a second Ocean Drake and just make it even harder for US Army Esports to push an advantage.
Yeah, Rito got hard saved by the timing on that Blast Cone. Alacrity is able to take down Inhibitor Tower in the top lane, The split push of Tristana cannot be understated, because Explosive Charge does to towers what Ziggs does, but faster.
Oh, Ian Hong is going to be able to get away, but no, the stun going to come through. Himana now popping that Gargoyle Stone Plate, making himself very tanky. He will still go down. Taya, though, manages to pick up Yrito in the meantime. It's going to be another kill, a third kill, a fourth kill. Ian Hong is down, but you've got Taya. He's playing some League of Legends right now, and the Lucian will be unstoppable at 7-1. A 3 for 2, make it 4 for 2, possibly, as Alacrity tries to run away from Shaco Name, but Shaco Name's got that Gargoyle Stone Plate, will not be taking very much damage here. And now GSM pushing down inner turrets, possibly opening up the base here with this Lucian.
Yeah, at the tail end of that, Shaco Name didn't want to gamble it on his damage, pops the Stone Plate, proceeds to auto twice for 17 or so, and then lets Alacrity go with burning the flash, but that wasn't terrible for US Army Esports, actually. It started off pretty good. They got a good catch onto the bot lane. Ian Hong and Himana both go down, but it's so difficult to deal with 7-1 Lucian in these fights. Has the rapid fire cannon finished up now? She's just playing with Alacrity, knows there's no way he takes any damage here.
Yep, there we go. Taya gonna pick up a 700 gold shutdown here. And now, General Vici may be in a little bit of trouble as he is going to 3v1. Taya has just ignored and abandoned his top laner. For shame, he gave you that kill.
Feels bad, man, for General Vici. All the armor in the world doesn't save you against 5 members, but 4 members rather. But we are getting to a point where it's relevant to talk about the Kai'Sa passive, because even if she didn't itemize early AP, she's pretty much the only chance that this shred on the front line starts coming through for US Army Esports. Champion does continue to scale like a demon, even if you have 3 ADCs, and there is armor pen and anti-healing being built up by both of the other ADCs on the team, so US Army Esports isn't out of this one, but they cannot let multiple inhibitors fall. That will be their kryptonite.
And I think their other kryptonite in team fights is they need to be able to protect Talented, which, aside from having Zillion, is going to be fairly hard since with the 3 ADCs and Kled, there isn't much peel here. So Talented kind of has to play his mind out.
Yeah, actually, at this point in time, I think it would be beneficial for Alacrity to stop looking for any sort of damage combo with the ultimate and explosive charge and just hold ult to knock people away from Alacrity, or knock people away from Talented.
Yeah,
it is actually a pretty potent peeling tool, even better than Lee Sin kick, in that you can activate it from range. You don't have to be on top of Talented to use it.
Yep, and now, little bit of a gold advantage here, about 1,500 gold for GSM. The vast majority of that, however, is on Taya, so it seems like these team fights will at least somewhat come down to who plays better around their carry ADC. Who's going to play better, Talented or Taya? GSM around them, or, you know, back and forth. But Baron is coming up in 45 seconds, so with GSM having a significant advantage here and significant pressure on the map, they may be able to bait or even force a fight.
Yeah,
That's a force.
yeah, sure is.
Yep, Porkchop is deadzo, and Ian Hong will pick up the kill credit on that with 19 seconds left on Baron. However, with 49 seconds here on this Ocean Drake, GSM still needs to watch out about giving over that soul, the all-important Ocean Soul, to US Army Esports.
Yeah, it's going to matter how quickly they can knock this Baron down, and with Ian Hong backing, it's not going to be super fast. Lucian does a lot of damage, but it won't be as fast as it could have been. Should be more than enough time to get to Dragon quickly enough.
Yeah, Alacrity, though, may be in trouble. No, he's going to have the Chrono Shift on him, but Ian Hong will survive for now. He does get hit by the Zillion Bomb. Will he go down? He will not. Barely gets into the fountain. The Baron will go down in favor of GSM. However, they will trade the inhibitor for it, the spot lane inhibitor. is dead, but GSM has the Baron. They're resetting, and they're running for that Ocean Drake. They do not want to let US Army Esports get their hands on that.
Yeah, Vici is already preemptively TP'd into the bot lane. Ian Hong also TP'd into the bot lane.
And
So-
Alacrity! Oh, he's got like 50 health left, and can Ian Hong find it? He will. The auto attack will secure it. Now, Wairito on the wrong side of this fight to be getting the dragon. He'll have to run away, and at a 4v5 disadvantage, US Army Esports needs a miracle, and I don't think it's coming, because that is a dead Zillion, that's a dead Kaisa, that's a dead Graves, and it means 3-3. This is going to be a 7 Drake game if GSM doesn't just try to end it here.
I think they are going to, and I don't think anyone's going to stop them. Taya is just destroying the squishy members of US Army Esports. That exhaust no longer needed, but can drop it for BM on Talented so that there's 0 chance of him taking any damage as he 2-shots the enemy ADC.
Yeah, this crit Lucian build, he's opting out of the Bork. Definitely not the Black Cleaver. That's much more of a tank-busting build. The crit build, that's way better at killing, 3 ADCs, a zillion. And double inhibs here for GSM. They aren't going to end it quite yet, but looks like their US Army Esports is finally in their death throes. They've probably got one good team fight left in them.
Yeah, and in that team fight, Kaisa is going to have the completed 3 items. Don't know if Talented had that up before that fight. If Kaisa had those items, it didn't seem to matter. But yeah, I'm looking for outs on this squad, and I don't see that many of them. This is an early focused team, not a lot of peel, very little frontline.
Yeah, GSM did... Yeah, they got a little bit behind early, but putting all of these kills onto Taya, even though Lucian is a very early game-centric ADC, he's still an ADC, so he scales very well, and he has been able to just tear through these squishies, and with no peel, as you said, on the side of US Army Esports, it's really hard to stop this Lucian.
Yeah, especially now that Taya has GA finished, the only real chance of a kill coming through is a really nice double bomb into US Army Esports having enough time to camp the 4 seconds that Lucian has coming back up from the GA and then kill him again.
Yeah, and granted, there is not that much damage left with Taya down. However, Ian Hong is on that like 3.5 item Ezreal point. He doesn't have the Triforce, so his damage is significantly decreased, but he can still pump out a lot of damage in 4 seconds. Meanwhile, General Vici taking on Alacrity. He will get the root, some damage, gets him down to half health. The ultimate will be used to try and zone away that Maokai, who does not have teleport. So, if Alacrity can get a teleport off in time, it could still be a 5v4, but Porkchop looks like he's going to make that a 4v4. No, the Chrono Shift will send Porkchop back into the Resurrect, but Taya will get that 3rd and final inhibitor on the map. General Vici pushing it in from the bot lane. He doesn't even care to join his team. And Taya, moving forward, he smells blood, and he still has that GA. Meanwhile, Porkchop, he is revived, and he is coming back, but he's getting burned out so quickly. Alacrity going to jump into the backline as Porkchop dies. A Shaco name will find It's Me That's OP with one more auto attack, but no, Wairito will find it with the burn. So it's a 1-for-1, but Wairito will dive in, make it a 2-for-1, 3-for-1, 4-for-1, and 5. The ace comes through, and GSM only loses 1 member. This is the death of US Army Esports, and GSM's going to walk it in for their first win of the split.
Yeah, that was a really clean mid to late game from GSM. I don't know if they were actually even worried. I'm disappointed that it took me so long to realize that US Army Esports lost in draft, but they definitely lost in draft. And they wouldn't have lost in draft, I don't think, if GSM hadn't capitalized on it so hard with their itemization.
Yeah, it was GSM definitely smarter than we are, because they figured it out, and we didn't. But, of course, that's kind of par for the course. We're both gold, and GSM are all diamond. So, US Army Esports, obviously, we identified the one big problem that they had in this game. as long as they don't fall into that again, they looked really good. They played very well. They rotated. I think Y Rito had an amazing early game, just securing objectives left and right.
Yeah, no, the early game looked fantastic. It was only until their comp weakness came online that they started to falter a little bit.
Yeah, so hopefully US Army Esports can get that together for next week. Meanwhile, GSM sitting pretty at 1-0, and they definitely had the kind of in-game sense to capitalize on weaknesses inherent in the enemy team comp. So we'll have to see how both of them do next week. But for now, we're going to take a quick break and come back in a few minutes with Return of the Middlesticks versus Stuck Gaming. I know I originally announced it as Return of the Middlesticks versus Return of the Middlesticks, but maybe that was just my mental saying Tendies is his own worst enemy. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes with our second game of the evening. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with our second game. It is Return of the Middlesticks versus Stuck Gaming. we'll get right into game here. And as I introduce the blue side, return of the middle sticks. We've got Tendies 2 in the top lane on Riven, Data in the jungle on Lilia, Cupperdang in the mid lane on Orianna, and our bot lane Let's Have Fun and Curb Stomp on Ashe and Thresh. Oath, you there? Wait a minute, I hadn't undeafened myself.
You also haven't streamed.
I haven't streamed. Ah, yeah, that's right. I also haven't shared my screen with you. It's
We're working on it. It's
NA production.
it's getting back into. But anywho, we have our second match of the day.
Yep, and I did introduce the blue side while while you couldn't hear me, so I pulled a sneaky on you. But then we've got the red side. Would you like to run them down for us?
Sure. The red side, we've got Stuck Gaming. We've got parry difference up in the top lane. Mike Ox, Small Bros. On the jungle. Sejuani, parry difference up in the top lane on Fiora. Didn't get the champion in there. We're working on it. Killering in the mid lane on Lux. Vital and Boss R in the bot lane on Ezreal Yumi. Hate that lane.
Yeah, that's it's a fun, Yumi, fun, skill expressive champion. Makes you really think that you got outplayed by the fact that she's not part of the lane, really. But all in all, this is a very Stuck Gaming comp. You've got Killering on a little more of a supportive, team-oriented mid laner rather than like one of those carries like Azir. Vital on a much more self-sufficient ADC, and then you're just kind of letting parry difference have his way with the top lane. He's got the Fiora, that's his champ.
Yeah, and actually, Return of the Middle Sticks plays a very similar style. You've got Blueprint in the mid lane on a Control Mage. You've got a little more of a pick-oriented bot lane. Let's Have Fun and Curb Stomp like this this setup a lot. But you're really just letting Tendies have his way with the top lane. He's got his Riven.
Yeah, and I think one of the questions coming into this one was, who's better, parry difference or Tendies? Just put him, literally put him in the top lane, let him lane against each other, see what happens, because either way, someone's probably going to stomp this lane.
Yeah, no, there's no way that this doesn't get snowballed. You've got a Riven into Fiora matchup from two players who love playing carry top laners and are very proficient at popping off.
Meanwhile, we actually saw Vital just burn the cleanse. He didn't want to give Curb Stomp that, that avenue into finding a 2v2 kill. Let's Have Fun has the call, and he just went back for that Doran's Blade. So we are seeing a little more scaling option here in the bot lane for Return of the Middle Sticks, just in case, Tendies coin flips and it doesn't come up on his side.
Yeah, and I don't know, I wasn't able to catch the Platinum stream, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is one of the first, if not the first, Lilia jungles that we've had on stream.
Yeah, I did not see the Platinum stream either, but I would not be surprised if this were the first Lilia. She's a very interesting champion, and now Data will be putting her into action as he jumps on top of Mike Oxmall Bros, and another 1v1 here in the top lane as Tendies and Parry Difference are going at it, but Parry Difference, he gets stunned, and he gets solo killed, burns the flash to boot, and Tendies picks up first blood.
Really close there, but Tendies not even having to burn flash. Parry Difference not able to get that last Vital proc off.
Yeah, having that riposte dodged away from, and then Tendies finding his own stun with the W is, that decided that one. I was 100% sure that it was going to Parry Difference there.
Yeah, very close there, but the TPs both come in. They want to get back to fighting immediately.
And I think already the item difference is starting to show up a little bit. Tendies has that Caulfield's Warhammer to just Parry Difference's double longsword, and there we go. That's the snowball, and it's rolling downhill for Stuck Gaming.
And I don't want to call it too early, but in this sort of matchup, that's pretty much lane. You just TP'd back into a Riven who also TP'd back. You were a level down and didn't have the completed Caulfields, and you got instantly solo killed again. Now you are 2 waves down, you don't have TP, and you're walking it back out into top lane. Meanwhile, your opponent is coming back into lane with another Ruby Crystal, waiting to solo kill you again.
And I think that is one of the crucial, like just crucial small things that kind of shows the whole of this parry difference Tendi's lane. Solo killing, usually getting your second solo kill on the other top laner means you want to shove the wave in, let it reset, deny him CS, get a plate maybe. Tendi's knows that he's just going to come back and 1v1 him again, so he goes back for that Ruby Crystal in order to counter the fact that parry difference has picked up a rejuvenation bead.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how parry difference plays the rest of this lane out. This is a dangerous attempt at a 1v2.
Yeah, Tendi's, he will get 1 kill. Will he get a second? He's regenerating so much health. The shield comes through. Parry difference goes down for the double kill. And there's no way he gets a 1v3 triple, right?
No, Killering able to get himself out of that one after seeing that there's no one left in top lane to help. So, we're 6.5 minutes in. Tendi's is 4-0. Everything is right with the world?
So, do we just stop the replay now? Because last time Tendi's got... Actually, no. Last time Tendi's got this far ahead this early, he got up 7-1, and then threw the game. Single-handedly.
Okay. Alright, so here's the thing. Do we want to take bets on how many kills Tendi's gets before the game ends, or do we want to take bets on the minute mark that he throws it?
Well, let's do an over-under for the number of kills he gets, and I think the over-under is 9, or 9.5, so...
I'm gonna go 15.
Okay, so you're going far over.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll put the over-under at 13.5. I'll go under, you go over.
Sure. Sounds good.
Okay, so maybe a 4th solo kill coming in because Tendi's has 2 levels up on parry difference. But the ultimate's not up, so Tendi's isn't gonna try for that. Parry difference literally doesn't have his ultimate. And he's got his enemy top laner down half health already. The wind slash should be coming up in a second. So we could see another one under turret here, and just look at that Riven bouncing back and forth. He's got the blue buff. That's disgusting.
Is a little difficult to dive Fiora just because you can't not throw 3rd Q, and even if you choose not to stun, there's always something that Riven can riposte, or that Fiora can riposte off of Riven's combo. So you preferably want to catch parry difference when the wave is about right there, actually.
Yeah, and meanwhile, mid lane is going, again, pretty heavily in favor of Cupperdang. He did have the advantage of Killering trying to roam and shut down Tendi's. So he's got about a 15 CS lead. Meanwhile, the other two points on the map, pretty much even. Curb Stomp.
It's okay, Curb Stomp. We didn't see it. It's not recorded for posterity on stream.
Yeah, this isn't going on YouTube or anything. Oh,
nope.
Tendi's does manage to avoid the riposte and burns parry difference's grand challenge as well. He will pick up that plate gold, and now he can try and dive. With no riposte, that is going to be the ultimate used. Stun coming through, parry difference is dead. 5 kills on the board now for the top laner of Rob.
Oof. Yeah, that is rough. The problem with this that is really difficult on stream to really talk about is that the focal point of this matchup is the top lane, and parry difference, despite getting outplayed at level 1 and then TPing back into a death. The TP back was the big mistake, I think, because afterwards he's really not playing these fights that poorly. He's just, 2, almost 3 levels down and missing all the items that he needs to be able to win the 1v1.
Yeah, at this
So
level,
it's really not fair to
literally
parry difference on stream that this is happening, because unless, short of having Sejuani literally sit in top lane, this is going to keep happening to him.
Yeah, and this is a downfall of drafting carry into carry. And it's a downfall of drafting carry into carry, not just like parry difference drafting the Fiora. It's that you can't stop fighting if you're if you're in a carry versus carry losing matchup. You can't stop fighting because what are you gonna do? Just be a worse carry with less CS? At some point you stop really being worth gold, but you still need to soak pressure in the top lane against your fed lane opponent.
Yeah, I mean, either you soak pressure in the top lane, or you say top lane is over, and you go try and do something else on the map, which is, we're nearing that point of pointlessness in the top lane matchup where that might be worth it. We see parry difference ignore top and go to try and get a bit of the Krug's EXP while he has the option to.
Yeah, and meanwhile the Rift Herald is going to be taken. Dropped in the top lane, and now the Lilia might be in trouble. Data going to go very low. Will have to flash away. Mike commits his flash as well. Now parry difference is just going to get hit with the gold diff again. Tendy's coming through. One more auto attack, and he is going to hit the ultimate and pick up his 6th kill of the game as that first turret falls for Return of the Middlesticks.
And it is a rough in the open matchup for Fiora, because despite having the riposte as a really good answer, if it's the W that you're trying to riposte, that ability comes out so quickly that you kind of just have to guess.
Yeah, it's
and
literally
if you guess
a prediction.
Wrong, yeah, you're done. You can try and hold it for the third Q as we see a fight in the bot lane.
Yeah, Yuumi actually is going to get pulled and killed. Beautiful hook there by Curb Stomp, keeping the Yuumi from getting on top of Vital again. Now Vital will have to flash. Tendies is here for Mike, and there is a 5-level difference. And I'm just going to let the 5-level difference speak for itself.
It got a little bit close, mostly just because there was a passive proc from Sejuani.
Yeah, and Tendies started at like 500 health.
Yeah, something like that.
So now, Vital is the target of aggression here for Return of the Middlesticks. Cupperdang moving forward, will sombrero himself and pick up the kill. Now, parry difference is in trouble. He's 0-5. He will possibly not find Let's Have Fun. Unfortunate here. 4 stuck gaming, just kind of going from bad to worse. I think that silence really just tells us all we need to know. Data is going to go for the dragon here and get killed by the dragon here. Cupperdang is in, and now it is a 2v2 with help from the Ash Arrow. Boss R coming over the wall. He will not find anyone. Now, Mike will steal the dragon away, but he will get taken down by Tendies. Vital is here. Could be a 3v3, but Tendies is just so strong. He's going to try and run Killering down. He gets the knock-up. He is going to find the stun onto Boss R. Each of those autos is doing 1/3 of the cat's health, and Tendy's now moving forward. He's going to flash on top of Killering, find a double kill. He's going to take a lot of damage, but it's not going to be enough as Curb Stomp takes 1 turret shot too many, and he is going to be picked up by Vital.
Yeah, we're going to ignore the fact that I somehow muted my microphone in the middle of my analysis.
I was wondering what that was. It was like...
Yeah, it happens. First game back on stream. I haven't cast in an amount of time. But as I was saying before Tendy's got too closer to our over-under mark, this is kind of the effect that you're seeing now of what happens when you have a top lane that's winning this hard. You get to focus all of your resources elsewhere. Vital getting dove under tower, for instance, at his level 8, because you don't have to do anything on the top side of the map if you're anyone on Rodham except Tendy's.
And now Tendy's coming in for parry difference. Will find the knockup behind and the stun. There is no mana left on this Fiora. It's going to mean his 7th death of the game. 12-0-0. As what did you take? 15, and I took under 13.5. So it looks like you're going to win this unless the game ends in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I don't see Tendy's not getting at least 3 more kills.
But now Curb Stomp will be rooted up as the last chapter comes through. Vital going to miss with that True Shot Barrage as Let's Have Fun Dark Passages away.
Yeah, the cleanse basically had to come out there, and then he
And
gets
yeah.
blind hooked under tower. Or not blind hooked, raw hooked under tower.
Yeah,
Feels bad.
the cleanse was not available for that one because he used it for the other one, and now Tendies might try and 1v2 under an inner tower. No, even he's not this ballsy. He's waiting for data.
Not against Sejuani. There's a little bit too much CC under tower for that one.
Meanwhile,
Yikes.
Cupper Dang finds a solo kill as Tendies now going to try and 1v2 under tower, and he gets smacked for it.
Okay, so that's a lot of gold going over. Unfortunate that it went to Sejuani and not parry difference. He could have really used that gold infusion, but this is the lead that you see. After that shutdown goes over, Tendi's still on a 700 gold shutdown.
Yeah, and not to mention, Return to the Middle Sticks on a 9,000 gold lead. And let's do a little check here. 5,000 of that is on parry diff, or is on Tendies.
Yep. But I mean, credit to the rest of Return to the Middle Sticks. Tendies isn't just solo carrying the game; they're winning all 3 lanes.
Yeah, the coordination, not really around their top laner, but despite their top laner, just getting to ignore an entire lane, Return to the Middle Sticks knows what to do when Tendies is winning. Whereas Stuck Gaming, it's always seemed like they rely on parry difference to win, and then they snowball that, rather than being able to isolate top lane. So I think that's just another point in favor of Return to the Middle Sticks' strength.
Yeah, and we see they're not leaving anything up on the map. They're not just going for the kills. Obviously, they're taking all of the towers. We have split dragons because one of them went over early on to Stuck Gaming, but the other Herald is picked up.
The Enchanted Crystal Arrow will go a little bit wide, but Mike will have to flash away from Tendies, and now Tendies has really left the top lane, and it seems he may have left the top lane possibly permanently here. He is going to take out this red buff, Vital, hits the True Shot Barrage, but he's not going to be able to find any lasting damage on Return to the Middle Sticks here.
Yeah, it's at this point that Riven can kind of do what she wants in the mid game. Tendies obviously probably could anyway, just because of the lead that he had. But it's the extra bit of CDR to put you at 40% plus 2 finishing items is like the sweet spot.
Yeah, once Riven can just start to spam those abilities, obviously a manaless champion, she doesn't have to worry about running out of resources. Every time that ultimate's up, you can take multi-man fights, especially when you are this far ahead. Tendies has finished 2 full items, got about half an item as well, compared to the 1 of parry difference, the 1 of everyone else except Killering, who doesn't have a full item yet.
Yeah, and there's really not a lot to talk about in this game state from an analysis standpoint. Stuck Gaming is so far behind that the possibility of them contesting a neutral objective doesn't exist. They're only real out since the major carries on the side of or the major carry currently on the side of Return of the Middle Sticks is AD heavy, is getting Ezreal to 2, maybe 3 items if the game goes that long, and hoping that the Ezreal Yuumi kite out combo is enough in a team fight for them to start gaining some ground back, but it's such a low chance.
Yeah, and that's a really long game, whereas the Lilia just kind of keeps getting stronger once she finishes that Liandry's Torment. The long team fights go so much better for her, and she's able to kind of run around Vital and parry difference and all of the people who really want to stay at arm's length. As well, Let's Have Fun on the Ashe just scales so well into the late game once she gets those 3 items.
Yeah, and don't count out Cupperdang on Orianna going the damage heavy second item in the Rod. There was a clip of Wonder getting one shot popped on GP by an Orianna in the LEC finals.
Yeah, and we are going to see this turret go down as the Rift Herald is dropped. Mike will be stunned up, the Ignite used, Let's Have Fun is going to get the slows onto him. Meanwhile, Tendy's going to pick up Vital, and Boss R as well. Killerring's the only one left. Curb Stomp will flash directly into that. And now Cupperdang is going to try and 1v1 Parry Difference, but Parry Difference does get all 4 parts of the Grand Challenge off. He flashes to safety, and Parry Difference will not be able to find his first kill of the game. Return to the middle sticks, gonna break open the base. Curb Stomp uses the stopwatch for good measure. And it looks like they're just gonna wait for this next minion wave to come in. Parry Difference finds his first kill, shuts down that Orianna.
Yeah, it was a nice shockwave and flash from Cupperdang to get away from the kill the first time around, but that just means that Cupperdang has no flash and then stayed under tower against Parry Difference, who did have flash up. So a little bit unfortunate for him there. Another unfortunate thing is that now 2 of Curb Stomp's flashes have been recorded for posterity. But
Yeah,
when you're this far ahead in the game, who really needs summoner spells?
Yeah, really, at this point, I mean, it's 10,000 gold at 20 minutes or 21 minutes. We have seen worse games. Few of those worse games have been in, like, between such expectedly good teams as Return of the Middle Sticks and Stuck Gaming. Stuck Gaming, of course, the former champions from Summer and Spring, and Vital will be going down. Tendy's diving the turret. The cat will lose his life. 15 kills, congratulations, you win the over-under. And Tendy's, he's not satisfied with 15. He wants to go 16. Can he go 17? It looks like he will. And now, Killering is here, but will he make 18? Tendy's taken a lot of damage, but he's still alive. He's got that Death Stance healing. He will take a shot from the Lux, and that will finally dissuade him. Gonna satisfy himself with 17 kills here at 22 minutes, and Return of the Middle Sticks breaks that first inhibitor.
I should have gone higher. This game isn't even over yet. Does he break 20? There's no way he breaks 20, right? They end the game before that?
I just feel like an idiot for saying, like, 12 or 13, because, well, obviously. It was Tendy's, he had 4 kills, and I said under 13 and a half. Let's see if he goes for 20 here. Tendy's does actually have the ultimate and the flash, so he could go for Vital, just needs to burn that Arcane Shift first. Meanwhile, the Dragon coming up in 42 seconds here, as the Baron is on the map, but it's heavily warded out by Stuck Gaming. It really just looks like everyone's kind of waiting for this one to be over right now. The waves are just being cleared here for Stuck Gaming as they start to move forward. The teleport coming in from Tendy's. And let's see what he decides to do with this summoner spell commitment.
He is on 4 items.
Good flash.
Nice flash.
And he is now 1v4ing, and I think he's 1v4ing successfully. That is going to be the ultimate used by Orianna. Parry Difference goes down. Cupperdang takes that kill, so Tendy's will only be at 18. Vital going to take a lot of damage. Data does find the kill onto Vital. Now Tendy's is here, and he's going to pick up his 19th kill of the game. Can he hit 20, or is Killering going to be a stick in the mud and keep the Riven from getting 20 kills in 23 minutes? Return to the Middle Sticks will look to end this game. They have finally gotten tired of watching the Tendy's show.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like it going to stand on the fountain. So 19 is our final number. Not a lot else to say about this game other than Tendy's diff. The rest of Rodham played the way that we pointed out that they play every time that Tendy's is winning top lane. They kind of have the same formula for when Tendy's isn't winning top lane, which is just to do what we can to win the rest of the map, and just kind of leave Tendy's in his top lane Kingdom Island.
Yeah, this was kind of the ideal game for Return to the Middle Sticks, where Tendy smashes lane and Return to the Middle Sticks wins on the rest of the map. However, I think it just got amplified by the fact that Stuck Gaming plays a very similar style, and when the two guys crashed against each other, the Riven came out on top. So hopefully Stuck Gaming can reset their mental from this week and come back in week 2, find themselves maybe an easier matchup than Return of the Middle Sticks, who I would argue, along with Stuck Gaming and GSM, is like a top 3 team. But
Yeah, I think that's definitely an accurate statement.
yeah, so with that second game, don't worry, I looked at the match history. The third game is much more interesting. Oh wait, no, never mind. It's not. Well, we'll find out in the next game. I forgot. The replay files are corrupted, so I picked a random game from the series. So don't go anywhere because we'll all find out what this game does in a couple of minutes after we take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. We are here with our third and final game of today, our third of 5 games for Diamond Capped, and we have for you here Los Huevos del Equipos versus the Akuma Sabres. Both of these are new teams, so I'm going to go ahead and introduce Los Huevos del Equipos, our blue team. Brando Dio in the top lane on Shen. Jack Sparrow, 111 in the jungle on Kindred. Mippo in the mid lane on Ziggs, and Lone Elements and Salsa in the bot lane on the Caitlyn Morgana duo. He has muted his mic again, ladies and gentlemen.
You're absolutely right. Okay, we've got red side Akuma Sabres. I'm gonna hold for the invade.
Yeah, the invade is coming through, and the flash forward by Morgana will force that Callista flash. Good trade here if you are the Huevos del Equipos.
Yeah, you like to see that. So, for red side, we've got the Akuma Sabres. We've got Rampage up in the top lane on Camille. Malstixi in the jungle on Rek'Sai. Ozzy in the mid lane on Kassadin. And Atenyo and Fails in the bot lane on Callista Thresh.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see what these two teams do, because I have not seen hide nor hair of either of them since these are entirely new teams. I like their names, though. One of them, Los Huevos del Equipos, it's fun, it's ethnic. Meanwhile, the Akuma Sabres, also ethnic, but it's like edgy, kind of.
Yeah, and so far, actually, I like this draft a lot from both teams. Both have clear goals. The early game power from Akuma Sabres, but with the insurance policy of having Kassadin mid and the level 16 God mode.
Yeah, and I just absolutely love Callista as an AD carry. I don't think she gets played enough, especially in lower, lower elos than professional. But we are going to see her early power already as she forces double summoners from the Caitlyn.
Yeah, the flash forward flay level 1 from Fails. I think actually, honestly, if they waited for level 2 for the flash flay into hook, they probably just kill through both summoners. But that's just me being a Thresh main and thinking I know the game better than people who are 2 divisions above me. So
Yeah, but you know, you're gold. So you know what they say. Wisdom comes from wine and children. And in the game of League of Legends, you're kind of like a child compared to these diamond players, right?
well, gold division is the reason I drink. So both are both are
Oh, see,
absolutely accurate.
yeah, I thought it was just your team, but it's all of Gold Division.
No, yeah, it's all a gold division.
Okay.
Definitely.
Well, Stixie is here for a gank, counter gank onto Jack Sparrow, and fails, tries to go for that tricky death sentence and try and hit Salsa, but he will not succeed. Atenyo now going to have to heal, and he's going to die anyways. The kill comes through as Fails picks up Salsa, and Jack Sparrow dies as well. Now Lone Elements will make 3, and Fails lives with a sliver of health. So a 3-for-1 in favor of the Sabres.
Yeah, really good bot lane play for Akuma Sabres. Malstixie doing exactly what you want to do on Rek'Sai, which is just get on the map early and be annoying.
Yeah, such a strong early game jungler. Very good at dueling. Not really super meta right now, but still, lots of junglers are still very powerful when played in the right hands. Kindred, on the other hand, a lot of melee junglers suffer into Kindred just because of her ability to kite them so early. But that kind of fixes itself when you just go ahead and gank the Kindred inside the bot lane, rather than trying to fight her on even terms in the jungle. Ooh, Root comes through. It will mean that Lone Elements is going to find a Naka, or a trap, but not going to be able to find that headshot. Now Salsa will lose his life. Atenyo does find the kill there. Meanwhile, Jack Sparrow has found Ozzy in the mid lane, and that Kassadin is going to be put a little bit further behind early.
Yeah, Kassadin is the easy pick on this character point for the Akuma Sabres, and the bot lane, you know, it is difficult playing into Morgana Caitlyn as any lane, so I like that Malstixie is paying so much attention down here. They were really nice bindings from Salsa, but Akuma Sabre is not playing fair. That's 3v2.
Yeah, they're playing the not gentleman's League of Legends, you know, not leaving the lanes to go, but of course in a dragon-centric meta like this one, and into that Caitlyn Morgana, you do not want to let your bot lane fall behind, especially since Kalista doesn't scale nearly as well as Caitlyn. So, we do see that focus on the bot side coming through. Meanwhile, Jack Sparrow going to focus on his 2 solo lanes. He is waiting in the wings to get on top of Rampage, but looks like there isn't a good opening. He will be backing off, heading back, possibly looking for dragon pressure, but now Lone Elements is going to be black shielded. That means that Salsa will be knocked up. Malstixie taking a lot of damage, but Lone Elements now the target of focus here for the Akuma Sabres. Lone Elements falls. Atenyo is going to find his 2nd kill of the game, and possibly 3rd if he can get one more auto onto Salsa. It will not happen.
And that thing I said about Malstixie doing what he should do for this lane and just camp bot, yeah, he's doing it. That's a 3rd gank before 6 minutes comes through. 2-0-2 up on the Rek'Sai, got his Kalista up to 2-1-2. It's looking really good for the early game of Akuma Sabres.
Yeah, and they will find the secure on this Cloud Drake, and the 2nd Drake will be an Ocean, so that's another good one for Malstixie to get on top of and continue just pushing into this bot lane and forcing the Huevos del Equipos to respond here.
Yeah, and the response from Huevos del Equipos from people who are not the bot lane as we see another hook land.
Yeah, and at this point,
Salsa is just dead.
Yeah, Fails finding really good hooks here, and just now it seems like the bot lane has almost become self-sustaining here, being able to actually find good picks, good fights. Malstixie may be able to assist here with Ozzy, who might be in trouble as Jack Sparrow waiting for another gank.
Yeah, and the response from the top side of the map for Huevos de la Quipos has to be basically just to continue picking on Kassadin and try and get leads in the solo lanes, because you've already kind of lost bot.
Oof, and there we go, Malstixi. Just kind of shutting down that response before it can even happen. Brando Dio will fall now. Lone Elements may be in trouble. Oh, the flash, but the missed Q from Salsa. It will mean that Atenyo finds a kill onto Caitlyn. Salsa in trouble. The heal burn just to make sure that Atenyo stays alive. Stand United coming through. Atenyo going to take the Dark Passage back. Brando Dio is going to get flayed away. Fails, dodges that taunt, but he's going to use the stopwatch. It's only going to delay his death. The flash away. What is it with threshes and flashes today? Man.
Yeah, that's... I think Fails thought Malstixi might be a little bit closer than he actually was. But Atenyo, really nice jumping positioning in that 1v2. Salsa definitely thought he was going to continue just jumping straight forward towards Lone Elements. That's why you saw the Q miss as oddly as it did in that direction.
Yeah, it was almost an over predict, but it was a very close over predict. I definitely would not have made any of that prediction. I still would have missed, but now Atenyo at 3-1-3. Meanwhile, Jack Sparrow is going to put some focus on this Rift Herald. He and Mippo were in that top lane, forcing Rampage away, and it is going to mean that Los Huevos de la Quipos are not that far behind. They're only 1,500 gold behind, which is surprising considering the 5 kill difference. And the, CS in every lane, and now maybe it's going to be a 6 kill difference because Brando Dio is in trouble. He's knocked up. He's pulled out of his steadfast presence, and Atenyo with his 4th kill.
Yeah, really well executed dive there on their part, but dropped the Herald in response in the mid lane. That's what they sent their bot lane up to do.
And they are going to find 2 turret plates. Mippo should be able to actually find the rest of the turret here. There we go. First turret is going to be picked up here for Los Huevos, and they're looking pretty good. Now, Salsa, he should have learned from his top laner, man. He's going to be taken down by Malstixi. Malstixi is going to flash away and barely gets away, but will he get hit by the Super Inferno Bomb? He will not. Keeps themselves alive, and the Sabres walk away clean, man.
That was really, really close timing on that, as they're not done.
Yeah, they're not finished. Fails will go down. Malstixi going to use the ultimate, but Brando Dio stays alive with the Lamb's Respite. Atenyo going to find his 5th kill, but the exhaust will come out. It will mean that Mippo gets the 700 gold shutdown here. Brando Dio is going to be very low, but Rampage teleports a little bit late. He won't be able to find anything unless he gets a great hook shot. Oh, Malstixi doesn't have the ultimate, so he can't follow Brando Dio. Owzy gets a little bit of breathing room in this mid lane, will be able to find himself a couple of plates, but firing back by Los Huevos de la Quipos.
Yeah, a good response there on that side of things. What I was about to say is that was really, really close timing on the dive onto Salsa. It was executed at like 9:51, and his stopwatch came online at 10 minutes.
Yeah, so I mean, the Akuma Sabres, they had to know, right? They've been playing a lot of these dives, a lot of these ganks, kind of on a knife's edge. So it seems like they are doing very well at tracking and making sure that they are going to actually pull these things off as they happen.
And if I am Los Huevos de la Quipos, I am not looking forward to seeing the purchase on Malstixi's back. He's already finished Warrior Enchantment pre-10 minutes.
And, okay, Jack Sparrow will be zoned away. He has Flash Smite. He could go for the hero play, but he dies before he can even get into the pit. Owzy on the board with his first kill of the game. Rampage may be in trouble because Brando Dio picked up a couple of kills in that dive bot. So he's at a little bit more of a stopping point here against this Shen with the Sunfire Cape.
Yeah, it's actually not very easy. You don't get a lot of benefit out of your passive as Camille into Shen, and the I don't get hit by attack zone. My caster brain is failing me.
Don't get hit by attack zone. Spirit's Refuge. I called it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I called it Steadfast Presence earlier, so I get you. It's Poppy
Yeah,
W.
that's but it particularly does well into the Q from Camille. It's just not really a fun lane. You can get taunted out of your hook shot. You can get 0 damage. You still get hit by all the ridiculous auto attack damage full tank Shen has, as Malstixie's gonna get beaten back with a broomstick off of his own Krugs. Feels bad, man.
They will be able to take down the Huevos del Equipos will be able to take down this turret. That's the power of the Ziggs. You can get rid of that last plate and a half without a single problem. So Mippo is going to... He's got 2 needlessly large rods. Is he forcing Death Cap first?
You know, there aren't that many great heavy magic resistance users on the enemy team. You know, we've got a little bit of the anti-mage and Kassadin, but you know, short of like some well-placed Hex Drinker buys, flat AP is pretty decent into Akuma Saber's team, actually. You don't really want too much pen. If you can get the Death Cap online before 15, a second follow-up Oblivion Orb is actually really effective, so I can see it. I like it.
Yeah, it's unorthodox, but yeah, in this team, or against this team, it really does work. So we'll have to see if Mippo turns into a force to be reckoned with now that he has finished that Death Cap. I would assume he's going to finish his boots next, or maybe even just upgrade that Dark Seal to a Mage Eyes. He's doing pretty well for himself so far, and
yeah, the benefit of getting double turret execute on Ziggs this early, I was like, how did he afford that and Lost Chapter when he's only on 114 CS? He's 1-0-2, he's got some kill gold, but he got a lot of benefit out of those turret executions in top and mid.
And now the Fate's Call will be used to keep Fails alive. Atenyo is going to toss his support back into the turret, and it looks like it could just be a 3v4 hold here for the Akuma Sabres. Some warning pings coming through, and with Mippo here, looks like they are going to find their 3rd turret of the game to nothing. The Huevos del Equipos are back in it, only 300 gold behind despite an 8-kill deficit.
This Ziggs is putting in work. I like this pick a lot. It doesn't do horribly into Kassadin because you've got a massive range benefit, and Kassadin isn't that early game of a champion anyway. And then if you just play around your team and walk the Ziggs around all 3 lanes, boom, you have all the turrets down at 15 minutes.
Yeah, and this has been really good here for Huevos del Equipos. Their bot lane not doing so hot, combined 1 and 8 right now, but that really doesn't matter at this stage of the game. Caitlyn will continue to scale. Kalista, she'll start to fall off. And a Morgana with Stopwatch or Zanya's Hourglass is always going to be a strong contender in a team fight, whereas Thresh, he's kind of just looking to zone and peel for his carries.
Yeah, definitely. Really kind of waiting on Atenyo to get his 2nd item before I think we see any major fight from the side of Akuma Sabres. They've stalled out a little bit here, especially with having all of their outer towers down. They kind of can't walk around the map as freely as they'd want to.
Yeah, they need that 2nd item on Kalista. However, the Infernal Drake is coming up in 30 seconds. Malstixie going to force the flash by Jack Sparrow. So the Kindred is flashless going into this Dragon. The Herald will be picked up by Brando Dio. He could move that into the top lane, try and take out that inner turret.
I like that call from Jack Sparrow there. You don't want to Lamb's Respite and force the play before the dragon spawns, especially when your Ziggs isn't in position to help you. So you just burn the flash knowing that your ult's actually the more important cooldown to have up for the fight.
Yeah, the team fight here will be big because we gotta finally get to see Mippo in action. Rampage and Brando Dio both have their teleports, and oh, Fails has been picked. It means that the Huevos del Equipos will be finding themselves their 1st dragon of the game. Malstixie doesn't even want to be in the area.
Yeah, and it's a little unfortunate there for the Akuma Sabres, but specifically for Rampage, he kind of got bailed out because Shen gets his effectiveness joining that fight out of using the ult and giving the shield to somebody, while Rampage has to TP in preferably with a full health bar to assist the way Camille is supposed to assist, and he went so low under that tower, getting Brando Dio low, that had that been an actual skirmish, Rampage wouldn't have been able to join until he had full health off of backing to Fountain and TPing in.
Yeah, and now the gold is even. The dragons are evened up a little bit more. The Infernal coming in for Huevos de los Quipos here. And they've got that Rift Herald just sitting in the pocket of Brando Dio. And he can continue to affect the map even from the top lane. Whereas Rampage, his effectiveness is much negated by the fact that he's stuck up there. Malstixi takes some damage from the Shen. And now Salsa has found Rampage. The ultimate coming out from Lone Elements, but it will be cancelled by the ultimate from the Camille. The ult coming in from Morgana as well will find one stun. Fails now picked in the top around that Rift Herald pit. And Atinho, will he go down? Brando Dio got a bunch of spears sticking out of him, but Mippo will be able to clean it up for his second kill of the game. Jack Sparrow chasing down Malstixi, but that Rek'Sai will be able to get away with the double blast cone. Rift Herald has been dropped in the top lane, and finally Los Huevos de los Quipos look like they are starting to get in control here.
Yeah, that was a really good fight for them. They had such a good split, catching fails in the river, while the rest of their team kind of just separated the members of Akuma Sabres and took them out one by one.
And there we go, double turrets picked up by that Rift Herald. Malstixi goes very low, and Jack Sparrow will find the shutdown. 700 gold in his pocket. He may be in trouble, but he's got the Lamb's Respite. The ultimate comes out with the Stand United. Jack Sparrow is alive. He gets that S-emote, and that's going to be 1, 2, 3, and Rampage makes 4 as Kindred gets herself a triple kill and gives the other one to Mippo. Wait, are Huevos de los Quipos ending here? They've got the Rift Herald for that final charge.
Oh yeah, nothing's going to stop them.
Yeah, they have.
The Rift Herald will get another charge off onto the Nexus, and that's game. That Lamb's Respite did so much work for them in that fight. Atenyo should have been able to just tear through, but the Stand United to give the extra health enough to get the Lamb's Respite off means that their momentum coming out of base was just halted immediately. What a decisive ending for Huevos.
Yeah, they fell so far behind in the early game, but through the combined work of Jack Sparrow and Mippo just rotating power around the map, they managed to find themselves the lead, win themselves 2 good team fights, and use the Rift Herald to end it. You got a Dancing Herald, 1956, not even 20 minutes on the clock. And Huevos de los Quipos come back with a surprising win. So,
yeah. Really good job there from their side absorbing the pressure. I mean, so much pressure exerted by Malstixi early, and then they just executed their comp exactly how they wanted to. Mippo took down 3 towers, they got their gold back, and ended the game through top lane.
Yeah, so we'll have to see if this was Akuma Sabres. You know, both of these teams just kind of looked really good at different parts of the game. Akuma Sabres punishing the bot lane so repetitively, while Stixie playing the early game on this, early damage carry jungler. Meanwhile, Huevos de los Quipos played through their mid and just kind of won the map game, brought themselves back in, and then just kind of won. So I'm interested to see how these teams do in the future, because obviously this is just week one little point. We'll have to see if they can make it a trend. So congratulations to Los Huevos de los Quipos for picking up their first win in week 1 of the GRLCS. Good luck to both teams in week 2. But for now, I believe that is us for the evening. You've got a game shortly, don't you?
Sure do.
All right, well, good luck in your game. Oh, thank you everybody for watching, and make sure to tune in tomorrow for the final 2 games of Diamond Capped, and then after that, we'll see you again on Saturday. So, see you tomorrow again at 5:30 Central Time. For now, I have been Vid, joined by Oath. Have a nice night.